Our third speaker to deliver basic speech project number 5 with the objectives: use stance, movements, gestures, facial expression, and eye contact to express your message and achieve your speech purpose. Make your body language smooth and natural. His time allotted is 5 to 7 minutes. The title of his speech is Vertically Unchallenged, to be evaluated by Fast Division Governor Father Sammy Pahed. He's the most generous in the class, a good provider of anyone in need. Most of our classmates don't go with him in the canteen or even talk with him during the vacant period. But in times of crisis, especially when our teacher says, "Okay," the bountiful and the romantic Toastmaster Jan Todorbe.
How many of you are familiar with the term vertically unchallenged? Do you think it's appropriate?
Yes.
Did you ever wish that some of your body features were different? Fellow Toastmasters and friends, every person in this room has mental and physical features that make them different from other people. Some may consider them advantages, while others think they're disadvantages. How would you look at your features objectively? I didn't look at mine objectively while I was growing up. Coming from a family of tall athletes, ever since I was a kid, people used to tell how big I'll be when I grow up. Considering that my father was about 6'6", people used to point out to him and say, "Someday you'll be taller than your dad, kid." That became obvious by the time I started elementary school, because I was almost a foot taller than most of the other kids in my age. Whenever we took class photos, they used to instruct me, "You better stand in the back, that way you won't cover anyone." It started that early. Accelerated growth became obvious by the time I reached the same height as my mom, which is 5'8". I remember her taking the measuring tape and putting me against the door frame. She used to make a little line, add the date and height. That way we could see how fast I'm growing. We kept on taking measurements just to see how fast I'll grow. By the time I turned 13 years old, I reached 6 feet. My next target height was my sister's, who is 6'3". During that period, my parents noticed that I was slouching and that my posture changed. It seemed that my excessive height caused me to feel different than the other kids. I wanted to try and blend in by bending my back and dropping my shoulders. It didn't bother me much because I felt similar in height with some of my friends. What I didn't notice is how that stance made me look like. Until I saw a few photos. After that day, it felt very discouraging looking in the mirror. My parents used to remind me always to stand up straight and pull my shoulders back. It felt very uncomfortable trying to correct my stance for longer periods. I even had to wear elastic back straightener, which felt very uncomfortable underneath the shirt. Have you ever tried to wear an elastic band around your shoulders and back? I can almost feel it now, making my muscles sore while trying to force me to stand straight. It took me about a year, and I decided to stand up straight finally so I can not wear that anymore. All of those problems were gone after my dad enrolled me into school of basketball. Being surrounded with other kids that were my height and even taller felt as if I should be proud of my height. It felt as if I grew almost overnight to reach 6'6" and finally look my dad straight into the eyes. He kept on reminding me that I should respect the gift that I have. Can you imagine how does it feel like to have a close encounter with a door frame?
No.
How about a chandelier? I must have hit 100 door frames before my neck muscles started kicking in, literally. I've spent a couple of years bowing down, entering the doors or entering the houses. And my dad used to always say how we proudly bow down whenever we enter. It was a sign of respect for our forehead. No matter what your physical features are or how you walk in through the door, whenever you look yourself in the mirror, know that the person looking back is very proud. It took me many years to understand that, and now I can't be more proud of myself. Fellow Toastmasters and friends, appreciate what you have, because you are like a fingerprint. There is no two alike in the world. Good evening.